So I recently read The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and it didn't just move me, it unsettled me. It sat quietly in my mind for days, kind of like fog, soft, slow, but impossible to ignore. I didn't pick it up expecting it to hit so close. I thought it would be about food, maybe about culture, or a quiet rebellion, but what I found was a mirror, a meditation, a series of hard, intimate questions. This isn't a book review. This is a conversation, a deep one, about autonomy, about silence, about how women vanish in plain sight, about how choosing peace in a world addicted to noise can feel like violence. So let's talk. The Vegetarian begins with a woman named Han Kang, who stops eating meat after a vivid, disturbing dream. Her choice, seemingly small, becomes the crack in a facade that was never truly hers. A choice so personal, so internal, that it offends everyone around her. Why? Because it is her first act of refusal, not just refusal of meat, but refusal of obedience, of submission, of her role as daughter, wife, object. And she doesn't do it with anger. She doesn't scream. She doesn't justify. She just stops. And in a world built on control, silence is rebellion. Reading this hit a strange nerve in me, not because I've ever refused meat, but because I have felt that same inner shift, that sacred no rising up inside. There have been times when I smiled, when I wanted to cry, times I said, okay, when my whole body wanted to scream, stop. And I think that's a shared experience for many of us, especially women, especially anyone raised to be small, to be polite, to keep things nice. What happens when we stop performing? What happens when we begin to disappear, not out of despair, but out of reclamation? Yonghai's journey isn't just a mental breakdown, it's a spiritual withdrawal. It's her way of saying, this world does not own me. And that's terrifying to the people who were comfortable owning her. This book is also a sharp, painful commentary on how women's bodies are policed, misunderstood, and controlled. In Yonghai's world, her husband speaks of her as if she were furniture. Her family speaks over her, about her, around her, never to her. And when she chooses not to eat meat, it isn't about health. It's not even really about food. It's about choice. And that, in a patriarchal structure, is the ultimate threat. Society often prefers women who are visible but voiceless, beautiful but silent, alive but only in service to others. Yonghai chooses absence. She chooses refusal. She stops participating in the violence of being watched, touched, consumed. In that quiet choice, it undoes everything. What Han Kang does so masterfully is write violence without describing it. She paints pain in fragments. The book is lyrical, sparse, haunting. And that style, it mirrors Yonghai herself. She doesn't speak much. She doesn't explain. And yet, we feel everything. That's what makes this book art. Not because of what it says, but because of what it withholds. There's something sacred about a story that trusts you to read between the lines, that trusts your intuition, that lets silence carry weight. This book is an invitation to listen, not to noise, but to what our culture so often drowns out, the quiet unraveling of identity. I think The Vegetarian asked me to look at my own life. Where am I still performing? Where am I afraid to withdraw even when my soul begs me to? And maybe you feel that too, if you're in a season of saying less, of pulling back, of shedding roles that no longer fit. You are not disappearing. You are returning. And yes, the world might not applaud you. It might not understand, but you don't owe it that. You owe yourself peace. And that begins with the kind of no that doesn't need to be justified. So thank you for sitting with me in this. If you read the book, I'd love to know what it stirred in you. And if you haven't yet, maybe give it a chance. Not as a story, but as a mirror. Until next time, keep listening to what your silence is trying to tell you, even if it whispers